You've committed a serious crime.
But Cornelius, the head of the church and guard department, said we had time to register our church after we finished building it.
She sobbed, dropping the name. The tears came to the trick. The officer frowned. Oh, you know Cornelius? I didn't know that. Well, I don't want to anger a department head, but I simply can't.
Please, will you please allow us to set the matter straight? We'll register our church right away, just like Cornelius said we should. Then there won't be a problem, right?
The other three adventurers hums as the most devious of them worked hard. Well, I'll have to make some inquiries to validate what you're claiming.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Captain.
Rachel's smile was evil behind her teary eyes.
I'm sure all will be made clear.
Don't try to leave the city, or you'll be branded as wanted criminal. The sergeant warns. And I'll leave behind a few of my men to keep watch on this abomination. That temple of yours.
You know he's going to find out we don't have permission to dedicate this place to Annihilator, right?
Fox asked once the guards had left.
In an hour or so, he'll be back to arrest us, and he'll be bringing a demolition team along with him. To be honest, it was kind of stupid to do this and expect the city to take it lying down,
Riley said.
I know I'm Annihilator's priest, but even I don't like him. There's no way the city is going to approve his church inside their walls.
To his surprise, Rachel smiled at him.
What are you so cheerful about, Kitty?
Nisa asked suspiciously.
I nearly bought your teary-eyed routine this time.
None of you have fully read the writ, have you?
The cat girl asked.
What's to read?
Fox grunted.
It's legal mumbo-jumbo. Just scroll down and hit accept. Works every time.
What do you know, Kitty?
Nisa asked. Rastia's smile widened.
There's a section that explains what it takes to register a new church to officially join Everence's clergy. You need to either fill out a form and get the approval from one of the city's department heads.
Which we'll never get.
Fox rumbled.
Or
Rastia continued.
have at least 200 believers inside the walls, which will force the city to recognize it as a legitimate religion.
The three others stared at her.
You're crazy.
Riley said eventually.
We'll never manage to convince the town's residents to convert to Annihilator. And to get 200 of them before the sergeant gets back. Impossible.
Really?
Rastia quirked an eyebrow. Nisa chuckled.
Look out, everyone. She has that crazed gleam in her eyes. She's either got a brilliant idea or she's going to get us all killed again.
The cat girl one of the street urchins lurking around the run.
Hey kid, want a gold coin? All you have to do is come and listen to the word of Annihilator.
Malnourished-looking boy couldn't have been older than 13. The golden glint caught his foot. And he several others followed. Riley brightened.
That's genius. We need 200 believers, and we have exactly 200.
His face fell as he finally realized what it meant. Nisa patted his shoulder sympathetically.
Sorry, chap. Looks like dinner will have to wait.
Chapter 15. Down. I squinted as my body slowly materialized back into the game.
Welcome back, Fox.
It said cheerfully. Scanning the area. I'd appeared in the hills outside Woodhaven, and the area around me was empty. My absence had been long enough for the game engine to clean up the battlefield, so there weren't any bodies in sight. Where is everyone?
The puppets have all gone back to the hamlet to rest. The players are running around doing stuff. Adanriel is composing a ballad about the battle. Badly. And is trying to convince that hideous golem abomination to form a duo.
I said slowly. How long was I away?
3 days, Doc. Wanna check out the post-battle notifications?
Sure.
Dark Mana spell school level increased to 55. Faith spell school level increased to 40. War party leader skill level increased to 54.
That's... I spent hours in combat, and that's all I got?
Well, to be fair, you mostly engaged lower level puppets, but you're getting closer to the next level. Another war like this? 2 at most, and you're sure to level up.
He had a point. I dismissed the notifications and walked through the open field toward the hastily fixed palisade around the hamlet. As I walked, the soldiers stood fighting and banged their armored chests into the all over its lowered sides. I found my note around a campfire sharing a meal. Savol spotted me first and hurried to his feet.
Your chief is back.
Hey everyone. I smiled at my friends. What's up? Julie grinned back at me.
We should ask you that. How's real life? Are cars still a thing?
I shrugged.
No idea. I don't get out of the building much. I just attend meetings and go through physical checkups before they send me back here.
Malkier winced. Smells indecent. I rolled my eyes.
No idea.
I looked at Sullivan.
Any news?
Not really, he said. We're still a few days' travel from the more populated parts of this region. There aren't many settlements before White Banner and Stork.
Those are the 2 towns that led the army against us, right?
Yeah. From what we learned, they supplied the professional soldiers. The rest were drafted militia from the smaller settlements. With most of their forces gone, we should have an easy time taking over those 2 towns. Once we do, we'll effectively be controlling the entire southern half of the region and within striking distance of Everest.
Which means, Oshisu said dryly, that they will be within striking distance of us. Taking these 2 towns will put a great big target on our backs. They'll finally see us as a serious threat. Good, because they're in for a serious fight. What about the loot we gathered from the fallen enemies?
Not bad, Sullivan replied. Altogether, we have enough items to fully equip another 2,000 soldiers. And we confiscated their supply carts with barrels of arrows and about 15,000 units of field rations.
Excellent. I looked around. Any sign of Ragnar?
The kid ran away, Chief,
Kip said.
We tried talking some sense into him, but he wouldn't hear it. Ran straight toward the nearest town.
Idiot.
Oshisu's nostrils flared.
They'll kill him on sight.
Seeing as the ex-dwarf's disposition was somewhat less friendly than a certain cat girl, I had to agree with her assessment.
I guess we'll see him back soon enough.
So, what's the plan, Chief?
We'll wait for Sullivan's scout to report back. In the meantime, I'm going back to the valley to check up on this. See if I can use some of our newfound supplies to increase the size of the army. What about Axar's forces, by the way?
Soldiers, go back.
Savol piped up.
Battle over. Need to rest and rebuild numbers.
Huh. I swiped open the settlement interface. Luckily, I now had the option to switch between the various settlements under my clan's control. So I navigated back to Goblin's Gorge and checked the vassal menu.
Axar's militia strength, 62%. Full restoration, 21 days.
Huh, I said again. Already said that. No, I said. What's up?
We can't resurrect the vassals' soldiers like we can our own. But it looks like they recuperate in their own given time.
It was almost like a person's health bar that slowly restored, repairing wounds. Sullivan raised an eyebrow. Didn't you resurrect some of Novengard's soldiers after we captured the town?
That was different,
Vic said.
Novengard was the first civilized town to be captured by monsters. The guys you resurrected were kinda grandfathered in.
I shook my head at the player.
Apparently, it was a one-time thing.